Hey there, yeah, my name is Thorsten Behrens. I'm working for my own company, and we're a partner of Collabora, and I've been working with many of the people from Collabora Productivity since many years. I've been contributing to OpenOffice, like the core, if you will, since 2001. Those were the early days, and then we did the LibreOffice fork with Michael and lots of other people there. So if you will, it's been like more than 20 years for Collabora Productivity and Collabora Online. That's a few years. So I mean, I'm running a company, so I'm not doing that much hacking sadly anymore. But yeah. Just massive. I mean, it goes much beyond. I mean, it's a worldwide thing. I mean, it's ubiquitous. It's everywhere. I mean, every software that is running, like almost every piece of software is containing open source to a very large extent, and it's been the dominant and has essentially won as the software development model that scales and pretty much the only one. So yeah, it's everywhere. I mean, it's the major contributor, like it's the largest corporate contributor to LibreOffice. Massively important and largely relevant in all kinds of corners, from starting from the governance to the, let's say, getting the word out, advocacy, getting products into people's hands, all the way down to development and getting features that matter into the code that then everyone can use. So they're just brilliant in getting permissionless use. So developers and developers to a large extent make those decisions these days, which software to use and how to use it and where to use it, and having permissionless access to pretty much all functionality that you will possibly need is a great enabler. So it's great for getting working code into developers' hands, who then can build their own products and their own solutions with that. The other end is, of course, it's a massive lever to get all kinds of people to collaborate and then just have one or maybe two solutions rather than having 50 companies all reinventing the wheel. So it's also much more effective usually. Of course, I mean, you can if you need to collaborate, you need to discuss, you need to agree. But I think that's something that over the years, over the 30 years or more than 30 years that we have open source and free software, people have mostly learned how to do that and how to do governance in the right way. So as such, there's no surprise that this is the winning, let's say, the winning way to develop software and also to use software. There's a massive spectrum from companies who really like they're pure play open source companies. They're sometimes like Collabora Productivity or my company or many other companies are kind of been founded with an open source ethos, like with people who just want to do open source, all the way down to big industry players who have an established way to do business and for which open source actually is disruptive. And they've been fighting a rearguard battle there like since, let's say, 20 years perhaps. But I think if you look at the evolving of that, you see that this is going to be a smaller and smaller holdout, and that by and large the entire software industry has adopted open source, all the way down to like actively contributing, encouraging people to contribute, touting that we do open source actually to attract talent, because people start to vote with their feet, and I want to go for companies that are open and helping that. So yeah, there's a spectrum, but it's moving clearly into the right direction. that really matters. I mean, the specifics that matter. I think by and large, the people that I'm talking to broadly appreciate that companies contribute, and that there's the perfect community, the perfect open source project manages to get all kinds of players, from big corporations to small and medium-sized businesses to public sector and volunteers, like all working like happily on the same code base and the same project, and getting this balance right. I think that's a sign of maturity and a hallmark for working open source project. So, and of course there might be reasons why not to do that. So if there's a single vendor open source project, there might be reasons initially to be a bit more, let's say, less open. And there might be purely volunteer-driven open source projects who have some are afraid of having, let's say, the big corporations riding in and taking that over. But I think over time, as the project matures, this is like the sweet spot where I'd like to be in the end. So it's open for everyone. There's a place for everyone, for companies big and small and volunteers. That's my take.